Hey, hey. So it's your girl, LaTonia Monroe Naylor, and I'm here to talk to you about something that is really important to me. But before I jump into that, I have to remind you, for those of you who have not already, Mission Rich and Profit Powered is the name of the book. Transforming your passion into a fully funded business. If you have not already purchased it, I'm telling you, it is going to really help you on your path. Definitely for anyone who is serious about starting a business. It's not fluff. It gets to the meat of it. I'm not telling you what I said, but actually what other people have said to me that I've read it. And so I want to share that with you. So now we're going to jump right into today. And what we are talking about today is the 5 a.m. challenge. So, why in the world am I talking to you about this? Well, it was interesting because it's not the first time that I decided to do a 5 a.m. challenge, first of all. It's not the first time. It is also, it's, there's this sense of when you decide you want to do something that is trending or other people are doing that you don't necessarily understand the whys, the what is it for, what does it mean. And so the first time that I tried the 5 a.m. challenge, I failed. Like I think I might have gotten up one day and that was it. The second time I tried it, it was in my mind. I actually never did it. And the third time happened because there were so many things that were being said to me, that were being done. It was literally like an aligning of the stars. Like I needed to do it at this moment for where I need to be and where I want to go. I saw this article and I'm going to look for it because it was very profound. I don't even remember where I saw it. So I hope I put the link somewhere in my notes. But pretty much what the person was saying is that waking up at 5 in the morning is not just about getting up because you have more day or can conquer more things, but it's really about getting yourself disciplined and set up so that you can accomplish more and be more productive. Now, the reason why it failed for me last time was because I literally was thinking just get up earlier. I wasn't thinking about any strategies to employ when I woke up. I wasn't thinking about what am I going to do now that I'm up earlier. I wasn't thinking about how it's going to affect everybody around me, my home, my household, my husband, my children. I really just got up. And yes, starting is half the battle, but if you really don't know what to do once you start, then you're not going to last very long. Okay. So having a strategy was really important. So what I did is guidance from my coach, guidance from my husband, like all these people saying to me, like, you need to do something different because you have so many things going on. And I prayed because I wanted to offload things off of my schedule and I offloaded as much as I could. And then there was still so many things that I still had to do. And so I'm like, how can I be effective? Because what I'm not going to do is spend my time doing something and I'm not seeing fruit. God didn't bless me with a gift not to be fruitful. Okay. So for that reason, I'm like, okay, how do I do this? So I prayed about it and I started like, okay, set up a schedule. I was reading some books at the time. We talked about order and have an agenda and kind of planning out your week. And I've done these things. So let me be clear. It's not like this is the first time that I've implemented agendas in my week or the first time that I've decided to do things a certain way. This is not. This is my life. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do or have done the things that I've been able to accomplish if I didn't have some type of rhythm or discipline. However, what I learned this past year was that the things that you do to get to a certain point are good for when you get to that point. But then, in order for you to get to a place you've never been, you have to do some things that you've never done, right? And that is cliche. We've heard that before. However, I didn't know how to do things differently because I was so used to my routine and my habit of staying up to 2 in the morning if I had to, crushing it out, getting it done. And all of that's good because you don't want to be somebody that doesn't meet your deadlines or somebody who says you're going to do something and you don't follow through, but it wasn't healthy. And I was not going to get to a place where I was not going to be healthy trying to accomplish these things. And so I went back and I reset and I said, you know what? I'm going to start this thing off. I was going to the gym, I was doing all these different things, but everything was all over the place. So I literally decided I'm going to go to bed earlier. And it's funny because one of the last things my coach said to me before I made up my mind to do this was, we need to make sure we get you to bed by 10 o'clock. That's a goal of yours, because I said, this is a goal. I need to be in the bed by 10 o'clock. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. The first day, I literally, on day one of my challenge, like the night before when I knew I had to get up, going to bed was so hard. Like I was laying in the bed for like an hour and a half trying to fall asleep, and my brain was just going and going and spinning and thinking about all these things I had to do. And I was just like, no, you're going to quiet. You are going to sleep, because you have to go to sleep. You got to get up in the morning. And the first day I woke up, day one, it was great because of the energy and excitement of doing something different. Like when you got to go to the airport, you miraculously can get up at 3 in the morning and be energized for the day. That's kind of what I felt. But then as the days progressed, it was about getting in a rhythm. Now, the first thing that I did was that the first day, day one, when I got up that morning, I had a whole plan for my week. I had 6 things that were very important to me that I was going to accomplish, and I decided I'm going to accomplish these things, right? And it wasn't business stuff. It wasn't business stuff, okay? It was not business stuff. It was personal. These were personal things that I needed to accomplish. And so what I did was I had my exercise, taking care of myself, self-care things, prayer, devotional time, family time, time with my husband. I put those things on my schedule to make sure I didn't forget once I got everything in. Now there was a podcast I was listening to, and when I was listening to the podcast, they made a comment around, you know, somebody I respect dearly, Stephen Covey, and they were talking about something that he was teaching, and this was decades ago. And they were saying how he was talking about, like, you have this jar and you have, sand and you have rocks and you have water. And if you put the rocks in first, then the sand, then the water, everything fits. If you take the same amount of what you put in and you do it backwards, it wouldn't fit. Like if you put the water in first, then the sand, then the rock, like it wouldn't fit. So the lesson was, is that whenever you need to do something, there's a certain way that you have to do it, or else it's not going to work. Okay. So I set up a strategy, I set up an agenda of this is what I wanted to accomplish for the week, personal stuff, and then I have my business things that I needed to accomplish. I have my other things that I need to accomplish that are not directly related to my business, and then I have my other stuff as far as my contracts. So my business stuff that I need to do, and then my contracts and my projects that I'm working on. And I was able to outline every single thing that I needed to do, and I was able to put the repeating things on my calendar and for the week. So I was exercising some days at 5 in the morning, some days at 5 in the afternoon, whatever, but I had to get exercising in every day, right? That's an example. But there were so many things. And so what I found was I would get to the end of the day and I accomplished everything that I was supposed to accomplish. And I was ready to go to sleep, ready to wake up in the morning, ready to get started again. I literally accomplished more in 1 week than I did in 3 months. And when I say that, I'm not saying that I hadn't accomplished anything before, 'cause I do accomplish a lot. What happened was that I was focusing so much time on the urgent and important things that my important things that were not urgent were not getting done. So my things that were important but not urgent were things that were actually going to help me to build up my business. These are going to help improve my family situation, help with the relationships of my family. It allowed me space to go and visit relatives that I hadn't seen in a very long time. Go and pray with them, go and meet with them, just chill with them, just spend time with them, right? Things that are important to me, right? And it's not because they weren't important to me that I didn't see them before. It was because I didn't know how to manage and maximize the time. Being a good steward of your time is important. Being a good steward of your time is just as important as being a good steward of your money, if not more important, because you will make more money if you're a better steward of your time. So I said a lot. I said a lot in the last 10 minutes. I definitely can share more about lessons that I've learned during the 5 a.m. challenge, and I'll likely dive into that next week or the week after. But I hope that it was something that really, really helped to kind of open your mind up. Before I do close, I just want to say this. Don't think of the 5 a.m. challenge as a time commitment. Like I said in the beginning, don't just think about it as clocking a time, like getting up at 5 a.m. Think about it as far as restructuring your life around the things that matter most, but giving yourself a rhythm. Giving yourself a rhythm. I literally used to sit and watch TV, not because I wanted to watch TV, but because my brain was so tired that I could not think after a certain time. I was just like, I'm over this. I'll just watch TV, right? I'll just go do something that doesn't involve thinking right now because my brain was using it was just working so hard. But now in the past week or so that I've been doing it this way, I haven't watched TV much, maybe 3 hours in the last week, maybe 3.5 hours in the last week and a half that I watched altogether. Um, and that's including a family movie that we watched together as a family, and that was Lord of the Rings. So if y'all know Lord of the Rings, that movie is like 3 hours all by itself. So I watched one other thing other than Lord of the Rings this past week, and it was so rewarding to be able to get so much done. I read so many books that I hadn't had a chance just podcasts I hadn't had a chance to listen to, just my mind just being like a sponge, just soaking up so much information. So, for those of you who are saying to yourself, I am too busy, I'm too stretched, I can't figure it out, I don't know how I'm going to get more time in the day, you don't need more time in the day. You just need to learn how to be a better steward of your time. And if that is something that you're interested in learning more about, you need to hit me up at Mission Rich Academy. Yes, Mission Rich Academy. Visit my website for more information or direct message me today. And you can also message me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook. So, for that, y'all have a great rest of your day. Remember that your stewardship of your time is very, very important, and it is more valuable than any amount of money that somebody can offer you. Because I promise you the peace, the joy, all those great things in between that you're going to experience, along with making more money, along with being more productive, is all going to be worth it. Have a blessed day.